I am delighted to introduce our third speaker for today, who is Julie Wells. Now, Julie is a women's empowerment and transformation coach. She helps disempowered women to break through their fears and find forgiveness to create freedom. Today, Julie is presenting on Jules' forgiveness formula, the secret ingredient to awaken the freedom within. So please join me in welcoming Julie to the stage. Over to you.
Good morning, ladies. Forgiveness is freedom. By show of hands, who here has ever felt you had no control of the outcomes in your own life? Like you were powerless to stop frustration and resentment, these feelings. Like you were never appreciated for anything you did. Through lived experience, I have found that empowerment is a choice. And this choice includes personal boundaries. I've sourced 14 secret ingredients and prepared a 3-tiered method that, when combined, creates Jules' forgiveness recipe. And when absorbed, will energize you to reclaim your personal power through conscious choice. According to Robert Enright of the International Forgiveness Institute, interpersonal forgiveness is a willingness to abandon one's right to resentment, negative judgment, and indifferent behaviour towards the one who unjustly injured us, while fostering undeserved qualities of compassion, generosity, and even love towards him or her. The Forgiveness Intervention Study, published in the Journal of Psychology and Health, 2009, shows a statistically significant improvement in the cardiac functioning for male cardiac patients who received forgiveness therapy compared to a control group of participants who did have a cardiac health approach. This was the first study ever published showing a cause and effect relationship between learning to forgive and experiencing a statistically significant improvement in a vital organ of the body. My heart skipped a beat and it was like time stood still. What had just happened? I thought to myself, as a cold flush went through my entire body. It was over, just like that. A 20-year marriage was over, just like that. I was numb and frozen in time. How do I survive on my own? What about our children? What about our businesses? What about our pets? Our home? How is this going to work? This is all I've ever known for 2 decades. I took a deep breath. What will I do now? At this point in time, I couldn't have been further from the idea that forgiveness is freedom. I blamed him for ruining our marriage. I blamed him for abandoning us. I resented him and thought to myself, who is he to be calling this quits? I should have ended this years ago. My expectations of our future together, rekindling our relationship, falling in love all over again, were shattered. Like an expensive vase being thrown out a 2-story window and shattering on the ground below. All I knew was that my life from the outside looked like everything I had ever wanted. Yet on the inside, I felt alone. I felt unloved. Back then, I had no idea that forgiveness is freedom. All I had so much anger built up inside me. I had nowhere for it to go. I feared if I expressed this anger, my then husband, let's call him Timothy, he would retaliate. I feared not being enough and not having enough to survive. What I didn't expect was the courage that surfaced in the face of adversity. My children were the reason I had to survive. I had to stand on my own 2 feet and be strong. I had to show them what was possible. Now, this didn't go exactly as I had expected it to. What happened next were uncontrollable tears that came flowing from my eyes in front of my children. I offloaded my story to whoever would listen, but I didn't feel heard and I didn't feel validated. I was persistent that what had happened to me was unjust and I needed Timothy to change. What I didn't realize then was that Timothy didn't need to change. He was never going to change. He was set in his ways and didn't want to do anything differently. It was me who needed to change. I had a choice. I had a choice to set clear boundaries and express my needs resourcefully. This was the lesson I needed to learn to stop our repeated patterns. I had held on to my pain from my choices for far too long, and now it was time to let it go with my 3-tiered forgiveness method. I trust this brings value. Click the link below and join me for my 12-week program where I lay out my secret ingredients for my 3-tiered forgiveness recipe. And we can have some fun throwing some ingredients around and creating your new story. I encourage you to remember, forgiveness is freedom.